Hey, hey, hey. Guess who it is? Guess who's back? It is I, DJ Maya, from the Mad Chatter Show, 107.7 FM, WVEWLP. If you're tuning in locally, Broward community radio station that we love, love, love so much. And if you're listening online, to all my family and friends out there, I love you dearly. You have tuned into WVEW.org. Please check out the website, become an underwriter. If you have a website, if you stay at home and work, all that good stuff, we'd love to have you in the family. With that being said, you can catch the video of this recording on YouTube when it airs, which we'll have to find out when that will be, because I don't know off the top of my head right now. But with that being said, I'm not alone. I have my handy dandy DJ co-host with me. DJ Pooh Bear's in the house. Say what's up.
Yes, it is me, DJ Pooh Bear, the Canadian counterpart, coming to you from southern Alberta. Thankfully, not near any of the wildfires as of yet. I can't believe, we just had snow last week, and now we have wildfires. Yeah, one of the same towns that burnt to the ground a few years ago is already on fire. So,
Oh my God, what? I did
yeah,
not know this.
no joke. Look it up. Look it up. Fort McMurray just burnt to the ground like 5 years ago, and it's on fire again.
Oh, they hate that place, huh?
There is. Anyway, yeah.
DJ Pooh Bear, before we go down that rabbit hole, do you want to let everybody know who we have to the show so we could get into this? Because I did not know about that. Welcome our guest. Let everybody know who we have today.
Yes, today we have a mutual friend that I personally met through the Typical Skeptic podcast with Rob Cowell. Love that guy. Through the audience chat is where I first met her. Her name is Angel Laurie, and she's had some pretty cool life experiences, and she's just incredibly smart and incredibly insightful, and she's also one of our fellow Cosmic Crusaders. So, without any further ado, Angel Laurie.
Hi, thank you for having me on the Mad Chatter Show. Thank you, DJ Pooh Bear. And thank you, Maya.
You're welcome. I would be DJ Squirrel Feather, but I'm DJ Maya.
DJ Misty?
Misty, I like to keep her on the ship. I keep her on.
You say, Misty, stay in your lane. Stay in your lane, Misty.
You know, I'm like, you do what you do best. You handle that over there. I'll handle this over here. One day I'll have a sit down conversation with her. Welcome, Angel Laurie. Love you, love you, love you. So we have been chit-chatting for a minute, y'all. So sorry you're late to the party, but we'll try to recap you a little bit. We've been talking about all kinds of stuff. And recently, we just found out that Alberta is on fire. DJ Pooh Bear, what is going on over there? I didn't hear about this.
Nope.
Yeah, it's actually hella early for this to be happening. Alberta does get some wildfires every year, but we literally had snow like a week and a half ago, so there is no way this is happening. But we already have wildfires up in Grand Prairie and Fort McMurray that are both already listed as out of control. There's also wildfires that are already listed out of control in British Columbia. And like I said, we are not in our summer months here at all. We just had our first +20 day here in Alberta, and it has rained and rained and rained and snowed and snowed and snowed. Like, we just got rid of the snow out of our yard, so this is an impossibility. There has to be some type of fuckery going on here, because, come on, it snowed 8 days ago, and there's out of control forest fires.
8 days ago, you guys had snow?
Makes no sense.
No, it's being done on purpose. 100%.
And we haven't even heard about that here in the States. I haven't heard anything about that on the news. Not one thing. Right now, we're dealing with flooding. States having flooding and tornadoes.
Really?
We're dealing with here in the States. Tornadoes. Yeah, tornadoes. Like in the Midwest, Tornado Alley, tornadoes. They got the big flooding. I think even up on the East Coast, you guys had a little bit of flooding. Massachusetts or somebody had a lot of flooding. I'm like, well, what's going
on? Well, I know Rob was
Yeah.
saying something about they had a tornado watch in Pittsburgh. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no,
I draw the line.
There's 44 active wildfires in Alberta right now.
Get out of here. What? How is that even possible?
It's possible for you guys not to know.
What?
It's possible for you guys not to know because Justin Trudeau changed the social media settings for our entire country during the pandemic. He actually made it so we can't share news on social media with people in America or even within our own country. You can't share news feeds on social media in Canada anymore. We cannot share. If we want to do something from our news, it has to be a screenshot because our government went full V for Vendetta and locked down our country so much during the pandemic that he put us under internet restrictions.
Wow.
And it was also shortly after he dumped his ass.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody wants to be a Kim Jong-un. Everybody wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be a
It's no Canada, right? It's up here, eh?
They said everybody wants to rule the world. Literally, the song was right.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's crazy. Yeah, man. You know, I never believed in climate change. I believed in the little man, and they told me the little man in Russia that has the what? They always blame it on the Russians. The Russians. The little man in Russia's got a weather remote control. You mean the man in the USA did? And they just push the buttons, and they can control everything. In my hypnosis sessions, they said all these things are not natural. Hurricanes, tornadoes, all these things they claimed are manipulated from whatever, lightning, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Going to work this morning, you seeing all the chemtrails, and I don't know, maybe about 10 minutes away from my job, and I looked up and I saw an X in the sky. I was like, why do people doing chemtrails need to do X's in the sky and patterned grids the way that I've seen them do, but just the X? And I was like, I was like, I'll bet you that X is literally over my job. And by the time I got to the job and I pulled in, it literally was just a little bit drifted off of the job. I was like, that's not the first time I've seen them put an X over where I work. And I was like, I think that they mark the star seeds. They mark physically where we are in the sky. X, because it makes no sense. Why one single X over one single building?
Okay, so hear this. When I did a session with Nikki, Rob's ex, I think it was her. God, I can't remember everybody's stories, but it was either her or Rob. Anyways, I don't know. There was a few. I did like 5 people from Pittsburgh. We took down a ship, a reptilian ship that was up there. It wasn't her. No, it was Esther, my sister Esther. She was living in Pittsburgh area too. And so you see how I was drawn? I was drawn in. I met Esther, Rob, Rachel, Chris, and Nikki. 5 people that I became friends with. And Nikki I had past lives as friends with as a child in Egypt. And Rob married her in that life. And so that's how we're connected, because of Nikki. But I feel like me and Rob were brother and sister in a past life too. But what was I going with this? Oh, we took down a ship. It was a Sarconian ship. And they said that they were from Atlantis. They're cousins to the Draconians. They're cousins to the Draconians. They don't want to admit they're reptilians, but they are. they have been around since Atlantis. And so the reason why there was a ship hovering above Pittsburgh, because there was a lot of souls there that were from Atlantis, and they wanted that Atlantean energy.
Oh.
You know? So yeah, I think
So
that they are marking the spots where people are.
And then they come and they just try to siphon. If you're not shielded and protected, they siphon.
Yep.
They
use you like a Slurpee.
That coincides. Remember we was talking about sleep paralysis.
Right.
I've never really had sleep paralysis because I found out in my regression was that what held me down and made it so that I couldn't move, which made me think maybe this was some type of physical thing, you know, like a physical attack or a heart attack or stroke or something I was having. No, I found out that it was reptilians in a ship above my house that literally had locked onto my frequency, the energy that I wasn't shielding, that I didn't know about any of this stuff. And they decided, you know what, let's stop in for that Happy Meal. And however they do what they do, I was literally just getting into bed, sitting there, getting ready to watch TV. The boyfriend was asleep. The baby, Jessie, she was in her crib. She was like not even like about a year then. And I, you know, you scooch up into the bed, get ready to watch TV. The next thing I know, I heard that sound, that like maraca sound come through my house, like, and I was like, what is that? And then
reptilians.
And then flat on my back on the bed, literally something just said, woo, and it just came over me like, woo, and I was like, what the? And I couldn't move a muscle. All I could do was blink my eyes, and I was looking around like, what's happening? The boyfriend's over here asleep. The 6'11" boyfriend, Native American, is over here asleep instead of saving me, and I'm flat on my back with something holding my whole body down. I feel this whole body pressure. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Am I having some type of physical, medical emergency? And then the first thing that came to my mind was the name of Jesus. I literally couldn't move my mouth, so there was no words that could come out. I just thought, Jesus.
Jesus, that's what I did. I was like, Jesus, it wouldn't come out. I couldn't open my mouth.
I couldn't talk it. I couldn't move nothing except my eyes, and tears was coming down. And I was, because I'm thinking about my baby in the crib. If this is happening to her, she's probably about to suffocate and die. So I just thought Jesus, and it seems like at the speed of thought, whatever was holding me down, release me. And then in the regression, I found out that it was you raise your frequency when you think the name of Jesus. It literally raises your vibration. Right. It raises you. So now they have no access to you, and they have to relinquish the hold. Go ahead. Yeah.
Stephen from BG Cast, I was recently talking to him, and we were talking about the different densities and realities. And exactly what you're saying, what he was explaining is, like, if you picture a fourth density reptilian or whatever was that came at you, and the way they can enter our density is much like if you were to put your face into a fish tank, you would be like an invisible monster coming in on those fish. That's how they seep into our reality. It's like peering into our density from theirs, and they leech onto you or full on grab you by form. But it's the reason you felt suffocated is because they're breaching the vibrational density to make contact with you. That's what you felt on you, vibrational push, because they had to spread our vibrational density to come in and grab you.
Well, that's sleep paralysis, but you weren't asleep. You were awake.
I was awake. I just back on my TV. And I was like, and then they let me go, and I told the boyfriend, he said, oh, you're probably asleep. I wasn't asleep. I was like, motherfucker, get up and get out. I'm taking my kid to my mother's house. I'm going to my best friend's house. This place is haunted. That's what I thought. I was like, this place is haunted. A hag had me. And when I told my dad, that's what Rob was talking about. When I told my dad what happened to me, he goes, oh, that was a hag. I was like, that was a hag? He was like, yeah, that was a hag. So for all these years, I was thinking
The
that
people in the South
spirit.
call it a hag. Do they see it? Do they see it as a hag?
I don't know. All I know is I've always heard the superstitious thing that whenever you get paralyzed, that's the old hag holding on to you.
That's what Rob said. He said he saw the hag, but for me, when I had sleep paralysis, I would love to know what it is. I have no idea. But in one of my sessions, it was a gray. I don't know. I don't know if everybody's the same. I don't know if it's gray technology. I don't know.
Probably doing to you what the reptilians tried to do to me.
Right.
Like Don said, they come in through the density and we get plastered like specimens because they're reaching down and they're effing with us.
Yeah.
And
they're projecting themselves into our density.
We're not used to it. But what the interesting thing
is,
the interesting thing is how a name can hold such a vibration that it will raise your vibration to make them relinquish the control of you.
That's right.
Whether you can say it out your mouth or hold the intention in your head.
And you know what's even trippy? That's not even his real name. His real name is Yeshua. So even the name Jesus holds weight and power, and they're afraid of that name, and they cannot. I wonder if it has something to do with the Greek mythology. See, nobody wants to get into Greek mythology. Nobody wants to talk about it. I think there's mysteries there, because when I did my session and I was talking, we talked to Zeus and them. Zeus was like a grandfather. His energy was different. And so I feel like something happened in the Greek mythology that they're not telling us about, because when you use certain people's names, even like Medusa, they use her energy, but yet they fear her, which is really strange to me. Like the Vatican and place, like they have statues of her face, on certain things. So I'm wondering what happened during those times. What really did happen? Because stories that we heard, Medusa is not true. That wasn't true. She wasn't a snake lady. She actually had dreadlocks, and she was 19. And the wrath didn't come till after they killed her. She wasn't a snake lady, and all of that was, I said, why did they make that up? And they said, well, what do you think? Because what would fear a man? Or, so that's why they made it like that. But apparently she did not look like that. I don't know.
I take special appreciation for Medusa, because allegedly she was supposed to have been a priestess in the temple for
Athena.
Athena. She's supposed to be an Athenian priestess, virgin priestess. And then what is it? Zeus raped her? Was it Zeus raped her?
No.
One of the gods raped her. And then Athena blamed her for defiling her temple by getting raped in her temple.
But so this is what I was told. I was told that Athena did not get mad at her. What happened was she felt for Medusa. And so what she did was, what did she do? She saved her in a way. What did they say? They didn't kill her.
Well, see, then that's totally different.
I can't remember.
That's totally different from the mythology I heard. Because
I don't remember. Don't quote me. I don't remember it exactly, so I can't say. But
for a long time, that goddess of love and war, Athena, I really had beef with her. I had beef with Athena because of the treatment of Medusa. And then Medusa, it's like the feminine energies, instead of protecting the feminine energy, a feminine energy demonized the feminine energy and caused that feminine energy to suffer and be misnamed and misaligned. And all of this stuff about her having snakes and then Perseus killing her and all kinds of bullshit. All it boils down to me, was this particular god did not have the back of her priestess. Period. Did not have the back.
Well, in the story that I heard,
all the gods raped back then. All the gods raped.
And
human women was just food for fodder. And to me, those are also the fallen ones. The Greek gods of mythology, those are parts of the fallen ones.
Well, from what I heard is that Athena felt bad for her, and so whatever she did to her was so she wouldn't have to live with that or something. I don't remember, but if it's, I have two stories, two sessions that I did where I talked about it. I have to go back and piece them together and find out exactly. I'm hoping you guys will help me with those. There's so many. I'm like,
I just want to jump back to when you guys were talking about how when you said in your head Jesus, right? Everything about it is frequency. So the name of Jesus changed your heart frequency and repelled the lower density frequency, because you actually went above and beyond the higher density thing that was coming in, right? You changed your energetic frequency from your heart chakra so much that it became repellent.
That's the conclusion I came to after hearing in the question who it was that was attacking me. I had no clue. I never in a million years would I have ever thought that it was beings in a ship, basically, I guess, around our planet, around this realm, looking for unshielded energies. And I guess when they came across a big energy, they was like, damn it, that's a whole meal right there. Let's get that. Get that. Stop this ship. Let's get that. Because that's still asleep. That's not awake yet. We don't really got nothing to fear at. We don't have to be afraid of her. She don't know what she is. She don't know what she could do. Get that juice. Go get that lemonade.
I feel like I'm really connected to Medusa ever since a child. I've been obsessed with her story. I asked Ivan Teller. Ivan Teller did a reading for me, but I don't know. I need to get another one done from him. I don't know. I need to see if it's the same, because he told me I was a fractal of Medusa, but I don't know. I got to hear more about this. I don't know.
You got to talk to Indigo Angel. When she went to the Vatican, when she went to Rome, she went and she did a freeing energy for Medusa.
Yeah, I watched it.
They have Medusa held there. Her head.
Well, I asked about that. They said her head is under there, apparently. Yeah. Wait, did they say her head? And then they're using her energy to harness. They're harnessing her. They think they're harnessing her energy.
They are.
Black magic. It's all black magic.
They are. And when Indy went there, she went to try to liberate Medusa. To liberate that there.
I told Indy she messed up, and I was in her class when she was doing that. I told her, don't go there unshielded. Don't go there. She waited till she was inside to put their shields on. I was like, that's where you messed up. You should have did it way before you got inside there. And then she had all these attacks and all these things happen to her. She was deathly ill. I'm like, yeah, you went into the devil's lair with your big old angel wings trying to be cute, and they're just as strong. You know, we can't think that they don't have strength.
Of course they do. And they've been in, and they're fully awake and aware. They are not like us. They're not trying to piece together who I am. Oh, have I been this deity? Am I this person, that person, or the other? They already know. They're on top of the game. They're like, look at these little peons trying to get to our level. Go ahead. And then sometimes when us peons do get to that level, then it's like, oh shit.
They're like, oh, look at you. You ready to play with the big dogs?
Exactly. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah. I still feel like I still feel like I'm just running around the astral Walmart touching on the fucking candy all the time. Like, wee, look at me. Like, I just woke up and started running around wrecking shit. Like,
Yep.
Right?
We're toddlers.
You're like
toddlers. That's basically what we are in the sights of these entities. We're toddlers. Yeah. You're gods. You're gods in these bodies, in your spirit, but you're toddlers in this flesh, in this game.
Right.
In this game.
Yeah.
Unless your synapses start flowing and you start getting memories and you start gaining higher dimensional knowledge and you start understanding. Because I remember when I was a kid, I would say starting from maybe basically where my memories start, like basically like junior high school and up. Before that, it's just a fucking blur. I remember in high school, I would be like sitting on my bed and then I want to, like maybe the remote control or whatever, a book was on the other side of the room. And I'm laying there and I'm thinking, why can't I just bring this book? Why is this book not coming to me? Why can't I cut this light off with my mind? Why can't I just go to school by just leaving this existence and popping into the building?
Maybe you were a walk-in. Did you have a near-death experience as a kid?
No.
You never, not that you know of, or no?
Nope, I'm definitely not a walk-in. I've always been this way. I've always been like, this shit is easy to do. Why can't I do it? Why can't I buy low?
Well, that's why I thought you would be a walk-in, because I thought I was a walk-in, because I was like, why is it that I'm too alert and too aware of what's happening, and I feel like I'm the only one that understands what's happening. And then, but I have had near-death experience. I've almost died a few times, so I thought, could I be? But they were like, no, you weren't, because there's only a few ways. Sorry, there's only a few ways a person can get their memories, right? Either born awake, like an indigo, or you have some trauma, near death. Like, how do you know? But you don't have earlier memories. They're just appear at the afternoon. Like, I want to know.
I've just always felt this way. I even feel this way now, even more so. Even more so. I'm like frustrated because I know it's so easy to do. It's so easy to do. It's like so easy, but you just can't do it. And it just always pissed me off. It always pissed me off. My best friend all the time, I'd be like, listen, I should just be able to just get up in the morning, get dressed. I'm at school. Out of school, I'm home. Where I want to go, what is all this walking and taking the bus and shit? I should just be able to go where I want to go, when I want to go. It's always been that way. Even now, I
want to buy locate.
I used to do inventions of and tell my mom inventions of stuff. And she's like, oh, that's really creative, Lori. And I'm like, it's easy to do, it's easy to do. You can take this ointment and rub it all over your body, and then you can do anything. You can go into the cold, you can go into the heat, you go to the surface of the sun, you'll be okay, Mom. And she's like, okay. I was always in the science fairs. I always did the solar system. Always the solar system. At the time, my favorite planet was Saturn, because of the rings. And as I grow up and I learn Saturn is not such a good place, I'm like,
well, I went to Saturn twice and I didn't see anything bad except what was left of remnants of a war. And people were gone. Like, this girl's past life, she went to Saturn. She couldn't connect with anybody, but she felt people were there. And she said it was beautiful. Well, she saw both sides of it. She saw it beautiful. And then I told her back to see, I think that's how it went. And she saw it was like, or forward, I don't remember, but she saw herself had died, I believe. as a kid, and she's like looking around and she can't find anybody, or she can't connect with people, and she doesn't know why. Oh, it was really weird. I don't know, but I would like to know more. I would like to know more about these places, and why do we have these feelings about these places if we've never been there, allegedly? Right?
I've hated Mars. I don't know why. I've always
really?
I've always hated Mars, but I've been told that I was a teacher on Mars. That I was a teacher. I taught ETs how to be more human. That was one of my functions when I was on Mars. And then knowing that if you're in these programs, there is a that you've been on Mars and you've been made to do all kinds of crazy shit. Because they talk about how they will turn you into part cyborg there and make you do stuff on Mars or whatever, protect whatever that they make you go in to fight the big spiders that are there. All kinds of shit. Sometimes you flying their, I guess their merchandise or whatever in and out of Mars space, whatever, going to the belt. I'm like, I don't know why, but I've always hated Mars. I've always hated Mars. And I've always loved Jupiter, and I've always loved Saturn until I heard that Saturn has like the cube or whatever, and it is part of the manipulation.
Who did you hear that from?
Huh? I don't know. I've heard it. I've heard it over the years that there's some type of cube technology, not only on the moon but also in Saturn, and it controls basically this game. It controls this game. Is what
I would like to know, because when I was there, they claimed that Saturn is very protected and it's very hard to get low vibrational things in there, because these rings are rings of light, they said, and they're like force fields from preventing things from getting in, and if they are not of the right vibration, they will not make it. Well, but that's all I know. That's all I've heard. I don't know. I can't match it with anything else, but I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Well, you know what,
Lori, can I go back to your wanting to just wake up and be at school thing? Because I actually have something about that. You know how we were talking about that we actually have 10 senses, not 5, and they're the clairs, right? And that's why we're not able to control what we do yet. Well, if you think about quantum physics and the fact that we're basically just a grouping of vibrating molecules that are actually conscious and sentient, right? We are actually just biological form made by vibrating molecules that actually know what they're doing. So what you're saying is actually right. If you could raise your frequency enough to be able to control your molecules, to be like, no, I would rather reassemble over here, you actually could do exactly what you're saying. Because we are just atoms and molecules, but we are actually consciously vibrating at a form to create Dawn or Lori or Maya, right? So if we chose to move that, we could.
But it's something in me is like, it's so simple. It's so simple to do, but it's like the fact that we're here in this gravity or whatever makes it harder, but not impossible.
Yeah,
not impossible. Just hard. Whereas maybe if we were in other densities, it's such an easy thing to do. Even when we go into the theta brainwave, when Maya takes us into the guided meditation, that's all I do is bilocate. My ship bilocates. Yeah. I bilocate. Thor bilocates. I made Rob bilocate.
That was cool.
I made Rob bilocate. Yeah. I told him, it's just you're gonna feel bubbly. You're gonna feel like, and I made him pass through. In that wave, I pass through. I don't open doors. We don't lower. UFO. We do the shit. And you feel your molecules when you walk through, and it feels kind of bubbly and like you're getting tickled with feathers all over your body, is what it feels like in those experiences. And I think some people, when they talk about when they get taken, up through the roofs or through the walls or whatever, they too talk about like a tingly sensation that they can feel their matter passing through the other matter. So, you know, there's something to that. And it's just always been something like, this should be so easy. Why is it so hard to do here? This is dumb. This place is stupid. That's all I ever said about this place. This place is stupid and I can't stand it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
No, because I get what you're saying, because we should be able to pass through something if we want to. Like, why do I need a door? You're just molecules. I'm just molecules. I want to be on the other side of those molecules. That's all it should be. Why can't I change my vibration? I can change everything else about myself.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I want to get to the point. I want to get to the point where I can literally do everything that I do in the guided meditation, in the hypnosis. I want to do that. I want to be like Thor. Lately, the newest thing that Thor does is not only is he a shapeshifter, but he's shaping his shift into things I never even considered. Him a full-blown half werewolf in the last thing that we did. And I was like, what? I'm trying to upload that video because I found a werewolf that looks like he did in that experience. And for some reason, YouTube, it's only uploading 25 minutes of a 2-hour session. 2 times I tried to upload it, 2 times just 25 minutes. And it's like not even the good 25 minutes, just like the just getting into the session. So I got, I'm trying to upload it one more time.
Are you using your computer or what?
No, I do all my uploading on my phone.
Oh, that's why. On your phone, it takes longer.
It does take longer, but it usually will all go. You know, it's never an instance where only a piece of it will upload as if it's the whole video.
I feel like I've had that happen to me before with a really good session that I could not. Yeah, I think I lost a good one like that too.
It's like the universe is like, nah, we don't want to let you. I don't know if it's the universe or it could be the fallen
one. The one with the unicorn that I finally got, and I haven't, even though I got it, I kind of stopped. That one right there, there's a lot of good information in that one. And in that session, they say that not everything is to be shared. So that's what stops me, is because I don't know what to share and what not to share. I want to share everything. But they're like, the names is not to be shared. I'm like, well, we've already been through that though. Like, I can't hide all this stuff anymore. The names are coming out. So I'm waiting to see if now is a good time to maybe I can upload the whole thing, because it is so tricky that the only piece of video footage I have left is an audio footage. And it won't even upload properly. So I literally have to figure out what to do.
Probably but it's good. Try to change the format. And
I don't know how to do that.
I know. Well, don't worry. My cohort told me, what does he tell me? I think he told me June 26th is supposed to be when he's getting released. He's techno. That's all he does. He's
nice.
Yeah, because I think in the programs, I think that's what, besides being an assassin, I think they use him for like a lot of technological things.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's what it's groomed for.
The fact that he met Rob a long time ago, I feel like they might have worked together.
Oh, yeah, he's in Montauk. I would never think that anybody would ever told me I was Montauk. When I heard them tell me, yeah, you're Montauk, I'm like, what the fuck? Part of me is really scared that I'm going to find out that he's my trauma. We have a trauma bond. Like, we're trauma twins. Because I call us twins, but I call us cosmic twins. I don't call us twin flames. I don't call us soulmates. I call us cosmic twins because we've been married before in other lives. You know, we've done this dance in other worlds together. But in this game here, I hope they didn't make us trauma bonded. That's right. Just hard.
I would think not. If you guys have, let's hope not. If you guys have had multiple lives together, it's probably, I always call it same shit, different day. It just the same stuff happens. It's just another life. You know,
I
it's
think,
like,
but in the MK Ultra program, they look for that. They look for if you had connections in other realities because they exploit it, because they know that you don't want to see that other person get hurt. So what I've heard is what they'll do for the trauma bonding is they will rape you up in front of your person. They will rape you up in front of your person or threaten to kill you or kill you in front of the person and then bring you back in a tank and make you go through all the torture all over again. So,
oh God.
Oh yeah, they kill you. I've heard these poor children, they drown you, bring you back, rape you up.
Well, that's what Stranger Things was. That was the truth. They said these movies are true.
Yeah, there's always aspects of truth. Last night I watched Jupiter Ascending again. For some reason, that movie, the very first time I watched it, it hit home. It really hit home how humanity is a commodity. And it's a commodity that is high value in the realms.
Right.
Because what we are, high value. So in Jupiter Ascending, what you are is basically 100 people is boiled down to this tube of energy that the other beings use to bathe in or taste and keep their foreverness.
I didn't catch that. Is that what that movie's about?
They keep their immortality. Basically, Earth is owned. You gotta watch it again because Jupiter Ascending has so much fucking truth about the various families, these galactic families, these beings, and how they have this system of trade, which basically is what we're going through here. Trafficking off planet, people making profit, and it's not like monetary profit, it's profits for immortality. How in the movie, I think it said the biggest commodity in the galaxies is more time. Everybody wants more time.
Really?
Yeah, the unimmortal beings, the beings without the souls, they want more time in their physicality, and so and just like in Jupiter Ascending, basically is the Matrix movie. In the Matrix, we're in pods, sitting in goo, having our energies drained to support the Matrix. And Jupiter Ascending, basically, they cull a planet. So basically, she prevented the planet Earth from being culled because that's what they want to do. They want to cull it, get all this energy, and then move on.
So let me tell you, Nikki, I believe it was Nikki, in one of her past lives, we wanted to know where she was before, and she was in liquid. She was in a milky bath, a liquid milky bath. And it was supposed to wipe like your memories or stuff from like your past life or something. Do you guys hear anything like that?
Yeah. Just one thing. They're getting real close with these eyewear products that people are voluntarily putting on their faces. The next step is these people are just going to climb into the fucking goo themselves. Watch. Yeah. Like that's what they're setting them up for. They're leading them down the street. I've seen commercials with morons with these things on, walking robo dogs, living a different life that they're not even aware of. Yep. And yeah, it's gonna happen. The next stage, a program in your new shades is gonna tell you to go climb into the glue bat in your closet because it's time to go to sleep now, and you're just never gonna get the fuck up. Watch.
Right.
Well, that's what they say that what's his name? Musk? What's his name?
Muskie? Guy who stinks? Elon Musk?
The computer, the tech guy, the Tesla guy.
Elon Musk.
Elon. I just have an aversion to him, so I never remember his name right. Elon Musk. That's what they're saying. That's what he's preparing humanity for with the chip. He already got approval, so a few people have the chip in their shit, and helping them to be able to move their bodies, their hands, or whatever, from being paraplegic or quadriplegic, which is a good thing when you think about it. But the fact that AI God wants this realm and all the realms, it doesn't really seem feasible that now we have this guy sticking chips in people's heads. And the conspiracy theory is the chips that are in the head will also coincide with the things that was put in the and the things the are gonna connect with the things in the and to all
this is a mad chatter show. There ain't no censor in here. You can say whatever you want to say.
In case you want to put it on YouTube.
Oh, well, yeah.
And they have, and the satellites will connect all of the and basically turn them into walking goo factories, because they will have no awareness. None.
Musk and Bozos are going in on it together. Amazon already just put up their laser grid. They admitted it. There's a fucking laser grid above our planet right now in the name of Amazon.
People are so unaware.
George Bezos.
People are so.
God.
Don't
it's real. It's up there.
Don't people question why Elon and whatever, SpaceX and stuff, why are they always sending stuff up? Why are they always sending stuff up? Because there's a cap to about what they can do. So they can send stuff up and try to surround us. So basically, this entire planet is surrounded several times with technology. But why would you give somebody that kind of power?
But how does that affect the extraterrestrials, I wonder?
They're the ones that are giving them these technologies to be able to enact this stuff, so that when it's off, their interests are above all. Their interests are above all. What the corporations that are in tandem with them and whatever, they're thinking, oh, we're gonna get this out of this. Really, the fallen ones, they got bigger shit planned than what the littler cohorts down here have. So
they got bigger fish they're trying to fry, huh?
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. We're an unawakened human is food for fodder. You're food for fodder because, first of all, you can go your whole life and never understand energy vampires. But you can go your whole life feeling miserable. You don't feel well. Why, when you are with certain people, you feel gross, you feel nauseous? It's because they're sucking your shit, in your chi. And if you're not awake and aware, you'll never know it. Yeah. And they'll drain every drop out of you until you just
flop over.
And then when you're on the other side, you're like, oh, that's what was going on. I never woke up.
Again, with the frequency and vibration, it's if you don't overlap with people right, it will fuck you up. Like they interfere with you and they change you, right? They slow you down. They make you age faster. They make whatever happen, but they will change your vibration when you should be up here living your best, feeling your best, being your best. If you're fucking with people that are lower vibration than you, it changes you. And yeah,
it does.
That's what happened with me and my family. I only have one kid, my daughter, and I have my dad, I have my stepdad, and my daughter. She got married. I had to leave the entire family unit because that's exactly what was happening. They had spiritual attachments, I believe, dabbling in witchcraft, dark magic. It was a lot of hinky stuff going on that my intuition was like showing me. And I'm like, oh, it's time for mommy to leave this situation. I love my daughter. I love my dad. I can't stand my son-in-law. I used to love him, but I know that his family is involved in dark magic. They just are. And I don't need that. I don't need that attachment to that. And I had to leave because I started noticing that they were like trying to elicit, when you're a certain way, and then you change, you mature. You're not the same person you used to be, because I used to blow the fuck up. I would blow up and take everybody down. Take everybody down.
Oh, me too.
My mouth,
I'll fight anybody.
you know, my mouth can cut people down to like a Jinsu knife. And they were trying to elicit that same energy from me. And, you know, like arguing with me, like your child gets in your face. In the not for the next year. But, you know, she's in my face arguing, and then my dad is in my face with his finger like this. Now. And
they're fucking up Mike.
Something inside of me changed. Something inside of me changed because they couldn't that stuff. They couldn't get me to explode. And by me exploding, they get to eat, they get to feed. The things that are attached to them get to have the good stuff. I didn't give them anything. And I could see the looks on their faces gone when I wouldn't blow up, no matter what they did. So basically what I did was I found another apartment. Me and Thor moved out. Daryl came and helped us move out. And that was it. I have not talked to my family in over 2 years. Yep. I cannot afford to be in those energies. And when I was living, you know, because they had all convinced me, you know, let's buy this house together, let's all move in, and blah, 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 happy family and everything. And I thought that's exactly what it would be. I had no idea that there were diabolical plots and plans and people were infested with stuff. But you know, it is what it is. Everything's working out the way it's supposed to work out. But yeah, you have to learn to trust your intuition, because people will say one thing, you got to trust what you feel. And that's what I felt. I feel that I was around a bunch of energy vampires that they wanted me to feed them. And the thing about it is that Thor knew before I knew. Oh, Thor knew. Thor knew. Yeah. My daughter would, you know, would try to hug me. She would try to hug me, you know, like, you know, she hugged me her whole life. She would try to hug me. Thor would get in the way. Thor would growl at her. Thor bit her one time. I was like, what's happening? Thor, why are you this way? Blah, blah, blah. He knew what was really going on, what was inside of her, what was her motives. He knew. Looking back now, 2 years later, I was like, dang, Thor, you really are my dragon. He knew. And I kept telling her, maybe you ought to not hug me when Thor's around. He really doesn't like you touching me. And then she would still try to touch me. She would still try to touch me and elicit. And then Thor, I was like, yeah, something's really not right here, because Thor doesn't do that to anybody.
She was messing with him?
You know, no, she wasn't messing with him. It was what was inside of her that was trying to mess with me. That he already knew, that I had no idea at first what was going on with her. But he knew. And I was like, dang, Thor, you are more intuitive than ever could be. I was like, he knew. And he was basically telling what was inside of her, back the fuck off. Don't touch her. Don't touch her. You know?
Even Dolores Cannon talks about knowing when to end soul contracts in this existence. And I've had to do it a couple of times myself. And, you know, at first you feel shitty about it, but you're like, no, this is for self-preservation, because I can't afford that person in my life anymore. It's going to hurt me more than it will ever help. I have to let them go. And like, I've had people that have done horrible things to me that I've had to do that in my own head, because I will never speak to them. But it's just like, you have to go. You no longer exist. We tried. This didn't work. Please go in peace. Goodbye. Right? You can do it that simply. And you
send them with love. You still love them, soul. You love them as a being, but you don't have to be in the same orbit. And have years, I've not run into them. We live in the same town. Really? I not run into them at all. Same supermarket, same car washes, never, ever, ever. They don't exist. I love her. You know, if she ever needs me in the future, as long as she's detached from the satanic family, maybe. And I cleanse her spiritually, maybe. But until then,
Do you have any grandchildren?
she never want any kids.
Oh.
Remember my daughter in the spirit realm, I'm not even sure if we're part of the same soul family or if she was like an adversary, but she located my frequency when I was on the planet, and I guess devised the plan because she wanted to come through my line. That's what my daughter did. She wanted to come through my line. So looking back at her childhood and raising her, she always wanted to be me for some reason. She even has my same voice, my exact same voice. She would steal my clothes. She would steal things for no reason because she was the only child. I always bought her. If I bought for me, I bought for her. She would steal things from me. She would take, she would want this, she would want that, you know, and I indulged her because she's an only child. But looking back at it now in a spiritual way, she was basically getting all of the genetics that she needed. Her father is part reptilian, so she's a part reptilian child. They got the genetics that they needed from my mom's line. They got it to mix with their hybrid. And I'm like, you know, more glory to you, because I've been told I got lots of hybrid kids out there in the universes doing assassination shit, whatever. I'm like, I love my kids, but I can't be held responsible for their spiritual journeys. Everybody's on their own, you know, but I'm not going to sit here and let no kid try to suck my life force from me. Nope. So, and she had a regression the same year in 21 when I had my regression. The next day she had one with the same Alyssa Herrera that did my regression. She did hers. And I listened to my daughter's regression. I let her listen to mine too. I listened to her regression, and in her regression, even her spiritual guides was like, we keep removing the evil and it keeps coming back. We keep removing it.
They said that?
Back. That's what they said. A certain set of her guys, they kind of the way she described them, they kind of look like Ewoks, little beings. They was afraid to deal with her. They needed to give her some information. Literally, they slid it. I think it was in Antarctica. Oh my God, I gotta get that recording again.
Where is that? Is it on your YouTube channel?
No, I never posted it because it's her story to tell. But I think I have it in my phone somewhere. Oh, yeah, she was in Antarctica. She was in Antarctica, and the little Ewok spirit guides of hers had some information to give her, but they didn't want to get close to her. So what they did was they slid it across the ice to her. And she was laughing like, God, they scared me. Because she's like kilt guides. She's what? She's like kilt guides. She's like slaughtered them. Like in her dreams, if a guide would come to her, whatever, she's killing them.
No.
So I have a feeling that they have put her in programs too. They have put her in programs because I see the assassin in her. They definitely put her in programs, especially if she came, if they was getting the bloodline of my mom and my dad combined to me. Yeah, she's in programs too, because she used to tell me she used to have the same type of dreams that I did, always in warfare, always fighting and things like that. But she was like slaying guys. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, remember though,
I think she killed an Arcturian one time in her encounter in her dream. She sliced it with a sword, but it like reassembled itself. My kid is wild.
awesome.
I gotta find her stuff and listen to it again, knowing the information that I know now. And
well, remember, just because somebody's got reptilian in them, don't make them bad.
It don't make them bad, but she's definitely got.
Because Dawn here, DJ Pooh Bear,
He's got
has reptilian DNA, and they saved him, and he's connected to Archangel Gabriel. He's here to do major work.
Yeah, but a parent knows the nature of their children. A parent knows the child. I know.
I was gonna ask.
I gave birth to.
I was gonna ask. What is?
Go ahead, Don.
Have you considered whether or not, if it's a fractal, or if she's a fractal of you or an alter, right? Is it something that they've played with the timeline and actually grabbed one of your fractals and put it in her and just messed with it in their own little way?
I wouldn't be surprised, because she has my exact voice. My exact same voice. Yeah. And everybody's like, she looks just, she's your twin. You're twins. You're twins. You're twins. You're twins. You know, and I'm like, and she always like makeup. She never wore makeup as a kid. Now she's doing the makeup. She's doing the lashes. She's doing the Lori look. And I'm like, huh, okay, right? And emulation is a form of flattery, whatever. But she know mommy don't like that. Mommy don't play that. You be yourself. You don't be somebody else's stuff. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna find hers, and I'm gonna go over it. I don't know. I may share it depending on if it gives me pieces of the puzzle that I know now. But yeah, definitely she was in Antarctica in her regression. She was in Antarctica. And now Antarctica is the thing that I resonate with the most right now of the information that I've been told. Because remember, in one of the sessions, as we were leaving the session and we were just talking about stuff, I told you that my consciousness was taking me somewhere. I said, it was taking me someplace with a lot of snow, a lot of cliffs. I was like, I don't know where it was taking me. But then we had ended that session. But it was taking me, I believe, to Antarctica.
Well, yeah, I was getting tired. My energy, like,
we had to go a whole and that was like a blurb. It just was like coming in real quick, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, I don't know where that was. That looked like a fantasy novel or something. It's trying to take me to the snow. I
do love when you go under, though, because you just take it away. You just talk. I love that. I don't have to ask many questions. You just like give information. I love that about you when you go under. It makes it a lot easier for me, you know, because you're in there. You're like a kid, like running with your head, like looking like you're aware. You're talking, you know. Where a lot of times I have to kind of guide a little bit, but then once people get on a roll, I try to get you to where you can get on a roll to get a bunch of information, and then you can just release and let it flow, you know.
People got to understand is that you have to try to play this game, but you have to try to play it with still the energy and the mindset and the spirit of a child, the innocence that our children have, the innocence, just the sheer joy of things. You got to encapsulate that into your adulthood to be able to play this game right. And by introducing myself to the modality of hypnosis, I've learned that when you allow and you don't question, you just let it flow, you hear these voices. They're telling you things. Like if I heard that in the 3D, I'd be like, okay, that's voice to skull. That is voice to skull. Who the hell's talking to me? You know, because I tell my guys, I was like, listen, I'm not about that life. I tell them I'm not about the mediumship life. They want me to do that. I'm like, I'm not about mediumship. I'm not about, no, you're not gonna be sending spirits over to me and having me like, oh, can you tell Johnny I miss him? No, I tell them, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Don't even pop that Claire off real strong, because I have it, but don't pop it off strong, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be like, excuse me, miss, did you have a son that died? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. I said, I got other things to do. There's plenty of other missions for me to do than to do that. I'm not doing that. You know, people make a lot of money with that. They make a lot of money with that, because people who are grieving want closure. They want to know about the person on the other side. They want to know. I was like, but me, I don't want to know. I've never cared about death. I've never cared about death. You know, my mom.
Well, I mean, now you know there's no such thing. We just keep continuing on and on and on and on and on.
And that's probably why I never really cared about it. And I don't.
You're like, what is this death?
I don't care the human body without the soul in it. The human body with the soul, when you look at someone who's passed, they don't even look like themselves. They don't even, there's nothing left in the shell. The spark is gone. So in the shell is basically biological technology.
Yeah.
We're spiritual technology that inhabits the biological technology. So yeah, no. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to her. I'm gonna go back to her session. Yeah.
Well, with that being said, I think that's a good place to wrap this up, because we could talk forever on this. We've been going for a good minute now. So Angel Lori, tell people where they can find you and where they can connect with you and all that good stuff.
Oh, well, you can connect with me on YouTube, Angel Lori 555. On Facebook, I'm on Facebook under the same name, but generally I keep the Facebook just for family and friends, you know. But like, if you have a really interesting story or something you want to share, or if something that I said sparked off something in you and you want to talk more about it, sure, hit me up on YouTube, or you can send the email to angeloid555 at yahoo.com.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for that. I'm always enjoying you on my shows, you know, because we can go forever with this stuff. So we'll have to have you on again, of course. DJ Pooh Bear, you want to go ahead and plug in your connections and stuff? I'm gonna definitely run these over. They'll be running over a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, all of my stuff is available on both YouTube and Rumble under March 4th Productions is all you got to punch in. Rumble's way behind because, like I've been saying, for some reason, Rumble and my phone, which is what I do most of my recording, uploading, and editing off of, don't get along for some reason. There's something about the way it resets, and it gets like 80% and wastes my data. Anyway, I could bitch about that for an hour because they paid me a total of 4 cents so far, so that's really helped. I just want to shout them out for that. So definitely worth the data I wasted getting those videos reloaded. Sorry guys, but yeah, you can add me on Facebook too, as long as you're not weirder than I am, which is variable. So we'll just play that by ear. But yeah, that's about where you can find everything of mine.
Oh, I just want to give you thumbs up on the Rick and Morty shirt. Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Yeah. You want to talk about things hidden in plain sight? Watch Rick and Morty.
Yes, those are his peeps.
Yeah, my daughter, who doesn't want to hear anything that I talk about, is not into what I'm talking about, is hearing it all on Rick and Morty. So that's where it's in the cartoons. You know, that's why I want to take our sessions and take it to cartoons and stuff, because I think people would rather listen to it that way, and the kids, you know, I don't know. You know.
Well, most of the cartoons get the witchcraft anyway, so.
I know.
It's all witchcraft.
Well, everybody, thank you for listening. Another episode of the Mad Chatter Show. We keep going and going and going and going. And yeah, follow us on YouTube, SOSQHT333. You can find this video. And I believe DJ Pooh Bear and Angel Lori will be sharing it as well. Follow their pages and connect with us. And, you know, share if you have any stories, share with us, because this is what we like to do. We like to talk about this type of stuff. So, yeah. All right. So with that being said, we'll say bye to everybody. Until next time, same place. You have been tuned into WVEWLP 107.7 FM, the Mad Chatter Show. This is our podcast hour, and I hope you enjoyed it. So blessings and infinite love to everybody. Stay safe and protected.